Just waiting for a few people to jump on in. This is really a part two to yesterday, to yesterday's live where I talked about Tiny and T.I. and should she leave him. I did a post. Hey, Christina. How are you this morning? Thanks for joining. So I see some people are trickling in here. Yeah, so I wanted to do this video. I- I'm assuming as a part two to what I talked about in yesterday's live, which you should check out, about Tiny and T.I.'s relationship and how he got caught cheating on her again. I did a post on Facebook today about it, just writing down some thoughts about what I felt about it. And, some women said, their self esteem is too high to subject themselves to a relationship where the man is continuously violating her or violating, the commitment. And, others say they would cheat back. There's a few things, but for the most part, I think people understood the points that I was making in the video, which was really that time is money. Time is money. And no matter how much money you have as a woman, when you invest time in a man, your value depreciates. This is just life. This is biology. Blame God. Don't shoot the messenger. You can't blame me. This is just how it is. This is just how the dynamics. This is how nature is wired. So when you invest time in a man, the decision to leave or stay should not be solely put on your emotions, which is he hurt me because he violated the sanctity of our relationship. He violated the vows and what have you. If he violated it, that's emotional corruption there, right? He stepped out, he didn't honor what he said he would do, and it leaves you, emotionally spent. You start questioning your value as a woman. Do you look good enough? Is there something else you could have done? This is the things that we mull over in our minds when men dip out. But the problem is most of the time men dip out simply because they want to. It's not really anything you could have done to avoid it. Tracy said, look at Wendy Williams. Hey, look at Wendy Williams. Look at Beyonce. Look at Eddie Murphy's wife. Look at who else? Name them. I mean, we know them all. We know them all. It's the same story. Look at Halle Berry. She got beat up. I think Wesley Snipes or somebody supposedly, allegedly beat her up or something. Made her deaf in one ear, something like that. But that's another extreme. That's a whole another thing. But we think we actually can we actually have the power to stop men from dipping out sexually on us, and there's nothing you can do. There's no amount of pretty that you can be for men not to want another woman besides you. There's no amount. And as I said in the other live, no one, when you're talking about emotions cannot be guaranteed. They cannot. A man cannot tell you he will never screw another woman for the rest of his life or as long as he's with you. He can't say that, because when he does, it's an emotional thing. It's not logical. It's not based on logic, because logic would be zip up your pants, don't screw her, because it's going to cost you. You're going to ruin the trust that you have with your woman. This other woman might get pregnant, so it's a bill. That will be the logical, thought process, right? If we're thinking logically, if he was thinking logically, if men have sex outside of their relationships based on logic, it'd be a whole nother conversation. But this is an emotional thing, and you can't guarantee emotions. You cannot guarantee emotions. Someone made a good point about Tiny, and she said basically that Tiny signed up for this. She allowed or made space for their relationship to have the kind of dynamic that it does. And she can't renege on what she's allowed, right? She can't renege on that, or can she? Because people change. Circumstances change. You get older, and there's certain things that that maybe one time you felt were good, now you don't feel they're so good anymore. There's that. There is that thing. So are we fools? Are women fools for sticking around with men who cheat? Should we all come to the conclusion as women that this is an inevitable fact? If the man is functioning, if he has money, if he's attractive, that there's a possibility that he will dip out? I say if we're dealing with human nature, which is what we are dealing with, then anything's possible. If we're dealing with emotions, then anything is possible. So you prepare for the rainy day. You prepare for the rainy day. That's all that we can do. That's all that we can do. So people like Wendy Williams now, I mean, her man cheats on her. And it's not even a one night stand. He has a whole nother relationship, allegedly going on. A long time lover, meaning he has an entirely second wife, so to speak. He's bought a house for her and all kinds of stuff. So this is not no summer fling. This is a woman that he cares about. A woman that he cares deeply about, because he's investing in her. And Wendy isn't going anywhere. She's not divorcing him. And why is she not doing that? Divorce him to do what? Hey, 9 Elite, thanks for joining. Halle Berry can still attract men. Same with Jennifer Lopez, Mariah Carey, Heidi Klum, and the rest of them in their 40s. Okay, yeah, they can. They can. All of these women still look pretty good. When you're talking about age standards, they all look very, very attractive. But again, it's time. If you've invested Heidi Klum, I don't know, how long was she with Seal? She was with Seal for a long time. She has children. She is older. So what she's coming with now is not Heidi Klum of 15 years ago, no kids or anything. She's coming Heidi Klum, divorced, baby daddy issues, children, and she's older. She looks good, but she's older. So it's a different dynamic. The choices diminish. Time is not a renewable resource for us. So we must really think about time in terms of value, our time has as much value as our bodies do. Heidi Klum just recently seen dating a younger guy. Yeah. So, and Jennifer Lopez did too. I mean, these women are high profile women, so they can date younger men. It's not hard for any woman to get a man, really. But to get a man to commit to you, to get a man to marry you, if he's not doing that, then there's nothing impressive about it. Dating, what does dating mean? Dating means you're having fun. without sacrifice. Dating means I'm enjoying time with you without risk of any loss. That's all it is. I'm sure many of you can get men to date men younger than you to date you. That's not hard to do. You know, unbeknownst to, aside from what men say about us, it's not hard for us to get the D. Not none of us. There's always a man willing to show you a good time. But life has to be more to it than that. When you invest 15 years in a marriage, there's more things to consider than just your feelings are hurt because he dipped out. And honestly, as I said before, the potential for this happening is, the odds are big that most women are going to experience this at least once in their lifetimes. How many of you have been cheated on in this chat? How many of you in this chat have been cheated on? How many of you can say no man has ever cheated on you? So talk to me about the odds. This is a reality, and you have to figure out beforehand how you're going to deal with this. Emmy, you said, I'm dating a guy in his 50s and I'm 22. If we get married, what happens? You're dating a guy in his 50s and you are 22. Is he taking care of you, Emmy? Are you having all of your needs met? Because you certainly are a prize to a man in his 50s, and you are young, fresh, and I assume beautiful. Then you should be having all of your needs met. So what happens is you get taken care of. That's what's supposed to happen if you are about your business. If you are about your bottom line. How did you end up with a guy in his 50s? Is he a sugar daddy? Like what happened? Do you like older men? Is that your thing? Let me know. Let me know. I mean, that sounds like a nice setup. You said yes to what, Emmy? Mary said several times, even in marriage. Several times they cheat. Oh, several times it has happened to you. You've been cheated on. Yes, we all have. We all have as women. I don't know. I have never met a woman who has not had a cheating story yet. Never. Not one. It doesn't exist. Emmy says, pays my bills, pays for my last semester of college. Okay, so you have someone who is investing in you. So do you want to marry him, Emmy? Do you like him? You like him, Emmy? You said I'm just scared he will die. You're scared he will die. He's only in his 50s. He still has prime years left. He's not in his 80s. He's not in his 80s. I mean, he's a lot older than you, so it seems like a lifetime because you're 22. But 50s, he's got some years to go. Don't be worried about him croaking. And if you are worried about him croaking, well, this is what life insurance is about. You need to take a policy out on him. You need to, if you're going to get married, policies need to be in place so that, assets are transferred to you if he does croak on you. And if he does croak on you, you're still young enough to pick up and start over again. So, it's like a win-win, but he's still young. He's still young, Emmy. 90 Lee says sugar daddy, hashtag sugar daddy. Ain't sugar daddies nice? Sugar daddies are nice. What I like about sugar daddies is that they understand the game. You don't have to convince them to put out money, to sponsor you per se. They understand their role in your life is to enhance it, and they use their resources to do that. Older men, you don't have to talk to them about why they need to spend. They understand that they need to spend. They understand that their value is in their money, just like as your value is in how you look. So of course he wants to show his value to you. There was a viewer yesterday that said, what if, when I talked about how Tiny should really just stick it out, like, I mean, divorce him to do what? To go back on the dating scene and find another fool that's probably worse than, that will be worse than him, because she's older with children now, and he'll feel there's certain things he doesn't have to do or have to put up with because she's an old broad, she's used up. Divorce him to do to date, and she could do that while she's with him. Truth be told, she could just move out, move across town, find herself a little weekend, whatever, if she wants to do that, and still keep the coin coming in. She don't have to divorce and cut the contract. Never cut the contract. Never cut the contract. But there was one viewer that said, well, what if you have money? What if you as a woman already have money? Then should you stay? And my answer to that goes back to time. Time is not a renewable resource. If you have invested time, you have depreciated in your own value. You cannot get that back. So it's not just about, okay, I make my own money, so there's no reason for me to stay. You got to realize once you leave, if you've been in a relationship 15, 20 years, because some of you have, to go back out on the dating scene. You ladies see what the dating scene is out here. I talk to a lot of you. I coach a lot of you who are back on the dating scene, and it's depressing, which it is. It is depressing. Some of you have husbands at home. He's paying the bills. You know, he's not perfect. He's doing sort of something. He's giving you some sort of companionship, and you leave that to go back to dating, to go back to the games and the trickery and being lied to and trying to figure out this guy's intentions and all kinds of stuff. You're under pressure to look good and, extra young and all this kind of things you put yourself through, and you realize that it's no better than what you had at home. You're realizing that it's really not much better, other than you can screw who you want, but what's the prize in that? There's a lot of risk in that. But you realize it's not much better than what you were dealing with at home. The grass isn't greener on the other side. And even if you have money, if a man has taken up 15, 10, or whatever years of your life, you cannot get that back. So you have to think about these things. You have to think about these things. Is it showing you that a happily ever after exists or not? Does a happily ever after really exist? Look at Snoop Dogg. I don't know his wife's name, but I love her. I love her. When Snoop was Snoop was acting up for the world to see, did you hear anything come out of her mouth? Did you hear her say anything against Snoop? Snoop did porn video, all kind of nonsense. He went berserk. And she laid low, kept it cool, and the coinage never stopped. She didn't talk about divorcing him. She didn't do any of that. She kept her bottom line about her bottom line. And what happened? He crawled his bony ass back to her. Snoop has only praise for his wife now. Hello, yes, because she's a real G. She's a real G. She didn't get emotional about it. Snoop's wife didn't get too emotional about it. She was like, okay, you're spazzing out now. When you come to your damn senses, then we'll talk and renegotiate. Because trust you me, there was renegotiation going on when he came back home, for sure. That's why he renewed vows and all kinds of stuff. But she kept it cool. Snoop's wife ain't about all that drama. She kept it cool. She know the hoes around, and she ain't pressed for that, because she knows her position and why she's there. She could have easily said, you know what, I'm going to divorce you and start over again, because I deserve better than you. To date who? Another fool. Another fool that probably ain't making as much as he's making. Another fool that's just taking her through new drama when she's already kind of sort of molded this guy to her ways. He acted a fool, but she waited. She handled it with steadiness, and she didn't get emotional about it. She didn't get emotional about it at all. I love her for that. And if you want to know how to handle men who go off the handles, look at Snoop's wife. Let us show you the game. What about if you're being abused? Now, if you're being hit or something, that's a different class of that's a whole nother story. That has nothing to do. Hey, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about now. Physical abuse, nah, that's a deal breaker right there. Monique, you said I'm 33 and no kids and can't find a guy for a date for anything. I never had a serious relationship. I look younger than my age, and I met older and young guys and nothing good. Huh. You're 33, you look good, you don't have any children, and you've never had a serious relationship? That is that's different. That's kind of special there. You never having a serious relationship, was it you just not dating anyone before, or no one's asking you on a date? Monique, what's, I'm trying to figure that out. You said, Reeves, you said the dating game nowadays is popping Molly and cold spaghetti. That's what the dating, I thought it was Netflix and chill. I thought it was that. People don't want to do the work. Nobody wants to sacrifice. And it was interesting because T.I. apparently made a statement about marriage, stating that it's not beneficial for men to get married because marriage, he basically say, it emasculates, it takes men's masculinity away, which was really, I'm trying to figure out, you're married and you're saying that marriage is not a benefit to men, when Tiny supported you when you had nothing, and she, bent over backwards to accommodate, your emotional whims and your sexual fantasies and all kinds of stuff. She did all of that for you, and you saying that it's no benefit because you can't screw who you want when you want? He wouldn't be the man he is without her. No man would be the man they are without a strong woman at their side. Alabasta, you said, you're not that popping if you're not married. Sharpen the mental game and look better at 33. I don't understand what you mean. Eden, you said, I call bullshit on what? What does 33-year-olds look like? Why are you... So the issue is looks now? The issue is looks? Let me tell you something. We named a couple of people, a couple of women who've been cheated on who look fabulous. And it didn't matter. The dudes still dipped out. It didn't matter. So don't let these men make you feel self-conscious about the way that you look. I talk about looks a lot and how we rank in society, because society has their preconceived notions, and the propaganda has molded and shaped our minds into what is valuable and what is not. But it's not for you, it's only for you to know, so that you know when someone's in your presence who's assuming that you have low value, so you can edit that, so you can kind of curtail that or cut it off at the jugular. Don't feed into that, because some of you feed into that. People will say and express that you don't have, your value is down here, and you start agreeing. But the knowledge of what, if they feel that your value is down here, you want knowledge of that, not to agree with it, but to counteract it, to combat that, and to play the game and make maneuvers so that you can let them know, listen, this is what you're going to do if you're in my space. But there's plenty of beautiful women who get violated every single day, who get cheated on every single day. Beautiful bodies, you know, they in the gym all the time, tight, skin tight, all of that. And the men are looking for somebody else. So it really has, you know, being beautiful is not going to stop a man from wanting someone else. It's not. Reeves, you said when you mature, looks are a priority, just not top priority. I mean, everyone should want to look their best, but I feel that women obsess over the way they look to a point where, you know, we do harmful things. We do things that just are not beneficial to us physically in order to chase the beauty. And we do this and we obsess over this because we think it's going to solve all our problems. We think being beautiful is going to make a man stay in love with us. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Food, you said Kobe Bryant slept with the housekeeper. Hello? Hello? Tiger Woods slept with the waitress. I mean, he married a nanny, but he slept with waitresses and stuff like that too. These women had no pedigree, no clout, no money, no, you know, a lot of them have no education, and it was just opportunity. It was just opportunity. And are all of them stunningly beautiful? No. No. How many of you know, when these guys dip out and cheat, the woman doesn't even look as good as the wife. And you figure, and you're saying to yourself, why would he cheat on his wife when his wife is so beautiful with this dog, you know, this dog face, this bag face, or whatever she is? I don't understand it. You think beauty solves problems, and it doesn't. Beauty does not solve problems. Beauty does not solve problems, you know? Beauty is a tool to communicate or to have people want to communicate with you, but the rest of it, you know, I would say it's a mental thing. You said, Reeves, you said Tiger Woods cheated with a monster-looking chick. Yeah, yeah. Men can fall in love with monster-looking chicks too. They fall in love with dog-faced chicks, average chicks all day long. If her mental game is tight, he can fall in love with her too. Don't get it twisted. Alabra, you said cheating doesn't matter, get the bag. I mean, yes, at the end of the day, it's about getting the bag. That's the only thing worth anything. That's the only thing that you can take to the bank is the bag. That is it, you know? So I don't feel that a woman is a fool if she stays. I think a woman that stays, who has weighed out her options, weighed out what she's facing if she leaves and decides, okay, she does not want to deal with that, she'd rather deal with this, she's entitled to do that. I don't feel that any woman who stays in that kind of situation where a man cheats is a fool. I don't think so. I don't think so. Because she'll leave and meet it again. More than likely, she'll leave him and meet it in someone else. This is what happens to us. We have patterns, you people. We don't like to admit to it, but we have any kind of trauma you've been into creates grooves in your psyche. Very hard to shake grooves. And if you've been in relationships that you've experienced lackluster things, and if you've been in more than one, then you have a pattern. You have a template by which you see the world and by which you choose men. And it would take some major deconstructing for you to break the programming that you have within your own mind to actually look for somebody else. So for us, you know, if we're attracted to a certain type of men, man, you know, you have to know who you're attracted to and why you're attracted to them. I think it's more empowering to know why you choose things as opposed to just leaving. Some of us are codependent. Some of us want to be bossed around. Some of us want to be, aggressively treated. Some of us do. We recognize that as love. But when you know that it's teetering on like straight abuse, if you know you have a tendency to do that, then you have to pull your own chain and understand, like, okay, I like to be dominated, but I need a healthier way to express that. That's all. Because you're not going to shake your need to be dominated by a man. You're really not going to recover from that. That's really the honest truth. And I'm saying it to you as a life coach. You have to transfer that energy into something beneficial. Kendrick, you said a person always should keep it real with someone they love. That sounds great, Kendrick, but it's not real. It's not real. And why isn't it real? Because nobody wants to keep it real with someone they love, because they want them to love them. And when you are truthful, people stop loving you. That's the reality. That's the reality. If your woman knew every perverted thought that you have, everything that you don't want anybody to know, if you let her know that, she's not going to love you anymore. She's going to be like, you sick fucking bastard. You're a perv. You like that? And there goes the respect. There goes the admiration. There goes the I look up to you, all down in the toilet, because you let her know that you're a sick fucking pervert and you really like a finger in your ass or whatever it is you like. We don't need it real. A woman doesn't need to know every thought in your mind, and neither does a man. If the truth be told, if you want to keep passion in a relationship, you got to talk less. You got to hide some of your flaws as much as possible. I mean, physical things you can't hide, but emotional or mental things, if you can hide some of that, you're better off doing that, because keeping it real always goes bad. Silence is golden. Yes, it is. This is so unfortunate. Listen, I feel bad about saying some of this stuff. Let me flip my hair like the other YouTubers do. Let me flip it. I feel bad about saying this, but it's true. It is the absolute truth. I'm trying to put you up on game here. I know I'm a country girl, I'm not as refined and face beat to the gods like these other YouTubers. I'm an earthy girl who knows game. I'm an earthy girl who knows people. I'm an earthy girl who is anti what everybody else is doing. But I'm trying to give you the dollars and cents of all of this stuff, because I observe everything. Hey, sure thing. I observe it all. So no, if you want her to love you, don't tell her all your sick shit. Don't tell her all your sick stuff. If you cheated on her, don't tell her that either. If you can keep that under your hat, it's best that you do, because you just create situations where, they build resentment for you. This is what happens. Reeves, you said, do you write books? I have 2 ebooks on my website, iloveherart.com. You can check them out there. Julius, you said, you're beautiful too. You left that out. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Kendrick, you said, I'm a woman, not a girl. Yeah, you're right. I am a woman. Through and through, I'm a woman. So yeah, this talk here is really about the game of life. And sometimes you gotta cut your losses. Sometimes you gotta know when to fold. and you got to know when to hold. You got to know when what you have in your hand is better than what you possibly might have leaving it. You know, honestly, a woman leaving a guy to go date is such a mistake to me, unless she has another man in queue, another man in wait who is ready to marry her, who's already put her name on the deed to his house, who's already got her as a beneficiary in his insurance policy or whatever. You know, to leave your husband to go and search for somebody else, to me that's whack. That's like, why? I would leave him to go and marry somebody else. I would do that. If I had another offer, another man wanting to marry me, I would leave his ass and go marry him. If he had more money, more status or whatever, and he's showing me even before I'm totally his that, you know, he's preparing a place for me. He's preparing a place for me. Then I would consider that. But to leave a man I've already established something with to go and date, really? No, you leave. If you're gonna leave, and you say, I'm not dating anybody anymore, I'm done with men, I'm gonna be a nun or whatever it is, then yeah. But leave him to beat the street again and try to figure out another nigga's lies. Excuse me, not a nigger, but a man. That was a Freudian slip. Excuse me. But another man's lies? No. No, I think that's a waste. I think that's a real waste. Don't do it, ladies. Please don't do it. Sure thing, you said, I'd rather be single than unsatisfied. But you're never going to be satisfied, sure thing. You're never going to be completely satisfied. Because being completely satisfied means that the other person that's with you is giving up their free will, like totally, and they're your robot. And nobody's going to do that. You are a complete human being, and the person you with is a complete human being, and you have needs, and so does the other person. And sometimes your needs are not going to be met. Sometimes they are going to put their needs before yours because they're entitled to do that as free, independent human beings. So the satisfaction that we think we can have with partnerships is really an illusion. They can give us some happiness, some semblance of happiness, but more times than not, they're going to disappoint you because they have their own wants and needs that they want to fulfill. And you gotta make room. You gotta make room for the fault and the flaws and the times where they don't come through for you, the times when they are selfish, because people can be selfish and people can be justifiably selfish. What are you going to do? You're never going to be completely satisfied. Julie, you said we are the same. Women want the money and men want the cat. Hello? Ralph, you said, wow, the devil will offer you all your heart's desire. You pay the price for your actions. It seems women can easily leave their husbands just to fulfill a fleshy desire. It's insane. Well, I mean, the same can be said for men. Men temporarily leave their relationships for fleshy desires. This is what we're talking about. So men do the same thing you're saying that women do, Ralph. I mean, people do it. Because again, it's not about logic. It's not about listen, love is not logical. Love isn't logical. What is logical is finding someone who treats you kind. Finding a man who can offer you a lifestyle where, you know, the lights will be on, you'll have food on the table, he's not going to abuse you or the children, you know, he's going to spend time with you and all that stuff. You know, that would be the logical way to go. But we want someone who looks good. That's number one. So that's the first illogical thing that we do. We want a partner that's visually appealing. There is nothing logical about that. That's pure emotions. So we started off impractical. Everybody. We base the value of who we're pursuing on how they look. Not if they have good character. We don't do that. We do it on how they look. Kendrick, you said, do you believe everybody has to be married to have sex? Everybody doesn't have to be everybody who marries to have sex. No, nobody does that. But that would be the safest way to go. If you want to deal with safe, if you want to deal with logical, if you want to deal with conscientiousness, if you want to deal with being practical, then you would have sex in the tent of marriage and commitment. Why is it better to have sex with someone you're committed to? It's because they are invested and have as much to lose as you do. They are saying that no matter what happens, I have cut off other options and I am investing all of my time and energy into you. And because I'm doing this, I want to please you. I want to make sure that you're safe. I want to make sure that you're happy. So, I mean, there's benefits to it, as opposed to just having sex with someone you barely know. Because someone you're having sex with that you barely know is also having sex with other people. They don't care about you. You know, if they catch a disease, they don't care about transferring it to you. There's no investment in your well-being. So, you know, it's not safe to screw anybody that you are not married to. It's not safe. What if you've outgrown your mate? Well, outgrowing somebody is such an easy fix, though. And I feel like the outgrowing thing is just people stopping the pursuit of their own happiness. You're not really trying to transform and better yourself. And people will tend to, if someone else is bettering themselves and the other person isn't, that's going to be a problem too, because you are no longer in a relationship anymore. A relationship is relating to one another, and if another person's going up and the other person's going sideways or down, then they're, you know, what do you talk about? What do you do? There's you know, the passion wanes. But it's such an easy fix. It's such an easy fix. Read more, do more things. Try to learn something new. That's such an easy fix. And nobody should really be outgrowing each other if you have ambition. If you're an ambitious person, then there should always be something more to discover about you as a woman, especially as a woman. We are creative by nature. Every woman has a creative bone in her. This is what we do. So if a woman lacks creativity and she's stagnant, that, you know, that's some sort of maybe emotional depression thing might be going on there. It's other factors going on there. Mary, you said he's 6'2". I missed something here. Man, I am with a bald gray beard, 300 pounds, and he treats me very good. I like big men, bald gray hair. And you said, Mary, you 4'11" and he's 6'2"? Hot damn. Hot damn. Mary, how you handle all of that? You tinier than the TI wife. You 4'11" and he's 300 pounds and 6'2". That's a lot of man you taking in there. You a champ. You taking it like a champ, Mary. Damn. And you say he's gray hair. Is he old, Mary? Is he an older guy too? Damn, Mary. Trying to live and eat holistic as I do. Got work to do, changing his ways of eating. Oh, so you healing him too. You helping him heal up? See, Mary, that's how you do it there. That's how you do it there. He's 55. Wait, He's 55 and you're 61, Mary? Okay. Well, doggone it, Mary. Mary, you still got elasticity going on. Right, Mary? Things are still elastic. Things still stretch and you know, snap back. Because that's still a whole lot of something going on. You still got the snap back, Mary? Waterfalls and all that, Mary, at 61? Player. Mary's a player of the year. Player. I love it. I love it. And you got the young buck too. Well, that's what it is. Anything is possible. Go Mary is right. Everybody say go Mary, go Mary. Mary got it going on her 4'11" self. I can't even get, and I'm almost 6 feet myself, and tall guys don't look at me. It's always you short girls that get the tall guys. It's always you shorties that get the tall guys. What's that about? What is that about? Anyway, yeah, we gotta keep a happy disposition, ladies. Be fun, like yourself. You know, I think this is I want this to be the takeaway for this live, is that we worry about too much. We make mountains out of molehills about every single thing. We worry about what men are going to do, and at the end of the day, we have no control over it. None, because this is an emotional thing. And it's no matter how good you look, no matter how good you cook, no matter how many bills you pay, no matter how many beautiful kids you give him, no matter, it doesn't matter how you do your hair or if you like his mom. You know, I know some chicks that, you know, they're stepmommy of the year. They got all of his kids. She's taking care of, she's Mr. Mom, right? And they still walk out. They still look for something fresh, new, exciting. This is what they do. So whatever it is that you do to maintain yourself, let it be inspired by you loving yourself. Don't do it to hold him, because these things don't hold him. They never do. Look at Nicole Murphy. That chick is bad, and she's 50. Bad chick. Hip to waist. She don't look like she had near one kid. And Eddie was out on the whole stroll, on Skid Row, looking for dumpster cooch, looking for somebody to screw behind a dumpster. And he had him a classy, beautiful, well-kept, well-preserved woman at home. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. So whatever it is you're doing to make yourself beautiful, do it for you. Do it because you want to be healthy. Do it because feeling good or looking good makes you feel good about yourself, whatever it is. But let the driving force for what you do is simply be because you care about you. Forget about holding them. You can't hold these guys. No matter what you do, you can't hold them. You said delicious, you said lie, because that's all they do, but lie with strategy. Listen, hey, this is real. This is real. All they do is lie, and if you want his love, you gotta be fugazi too. You gotta lie too. You gotta embellish. You gotta seduce. Seduction is lying. That's what seduction is. Manipulation is lying, falsifying, or should I say, creating an atmosphere where they want to do what you want them to do. Not by force, but you just convincing them subtly that what you want should be important to them. That's what manipulation is, true manipulation anyway. And this is what all relationships are about. How many of you get things just because you ask? Just because you want it? How many of you can actually do that? Usually it's some sort, you have to paint the picture for people. You have to put it in a way where They feel if they don't do this, it's gonna be some sort of repercussion or something going on. You know, you're gonna be disappointed. You're not gonna love them as much or whatever. I mean, most of these relationships are. Isn't that what it is? How many of you tell these men, the moment you tell the man you love him, the phone calls slow down, the going out, you know, everything that he used to do to win you starts to diminish. The moment he knows, okay, she cares about me. Why does this happen? Why is it that we can't just be honest about our feelings and say, you know what, I love you, and I don't mind telling you that, and it doesn't matter if you even tell me back, or you know, because you know I'm just being my authentic self. How many of us can do that and still get reciprocity? People love what they're afraid to lose. I need for you to understand that. People appreciate what they are afraid to lose. This is why men who invest in you tend to stick around longer than those who do not. This is why men who commit to you decide to, you know, shoulder the low, weather the storm or whatever it is, because he has now invested and he has something he's afraid of losing at this point. This is why people stick around. If there is no fear of losing you, then the love isn't there either. The love isn't there either. It has to be some fear involved. It has to be some anxiety involved. It has to be. Elite, you said, remain soft and feminine at all times, learn power of suggestion and reverse psychology. Yeah. You have to do that. I was talking to a sister of mine the other day, and she's a shark. I mean, she's like, the littlest thing can tick her off. Like, she has no patience for any bullshit whatsoever, and she sniffs it out. And I said, you know, you're gonna have to calm that down, because you know people are gonna bullshit you, and you don't need to let them know that you know that bullshitting isn't working. Because how are you gonna get a relationship if you attack like all the time? You can't attack men. You gotta let them talk. You gotta woo them. You gotta make them feel like they are the most intelligent guy in the world. Sometimes you gotta do all of that. You have to do all of that as a woman. You cannot attack them. And for some of us, for some of us, it's very hard to humble ourselves. For some of us, it's very hard for us to play the feminine role, because, you know, we feel we're better than that. But it's about exactly, Raves. It's about finessing. It's about finessing. Sometimes you got to play dumb, you know. Sometimes you got to play dumb. Kendrick, you said, is there life after death in the flesh? Kendrick, you're going dark, man. You're going dark on me here. This isn't a life or death talk. That's another video. That's another video. We can't go so dark right now. Oh my God, you just depressed me. You just depressed me. Reed, you said keep the ball in your court. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you gotta keep it in your court. Listen, you gotta lie, but not in a malicious type of way. You are lying to keep the peace. You're lying to keep love. You're lying to keep attractiveness and passion. You're doing it because you want the relationship to be good. You lie because you want the relationship to be good, right? This is what we do. He doesn't need to know everything. He doesn't need to know everything. So, you know, that's what it is, right? That's what it is. Stop telling these guys the truth. Stop telling them the truth. Stop telling them that you never had a man who treated you right or did anything for you. Stop saying that shit. Can we unanimously vote on you not positioning yourself as a woman who's never had nothing from nobody? Because he's basing what he's going to do for you based on what you're used to. So if you got to fugazi that and you got to pretend like you've had this and that and the other, then you need to do it. If you're expecting him to treat you better than everybody else has, you got to pretend like you had it really, really good. Sometimes you're going to have to do that. Eden, you said, please stop saying that stuff. What stuff? What? Reeve, you said sad but true. Listen, the truth is not sad. I wish you guys would stop. If I had a quarter for every time somebody says sad but true, there's nothing sad about truth. Truth is empowering to you. Truth means that truth should raise your self-esteem, because truth gives you confidence. Truth gives you options. Truth means you have 50 more ways to maneuver something, and you're not trapped because you know the truth. If you ladies, you know how many of us, and I say this all the time, you know how many of us are in the presence of men who are not really attracted to us, but they say nice things, you know, they do the flattery thing and all that to see if they can get some free ass or whatever. And we read flattery and compliments as if they're true. We think what they're saying is what they really believe, and half the time it's not, but we believe it. But if you go into a situation knowing in your mind that this guy is possibly lying to me, what does that do for you? It relaxes you. You're not under pressure to respond in a favorable way. You're not under pressure to give him anything, any reciprocity or anything in return for a compliment or whatever, even if it's more than that, even if it's a dinner or whatever it is, even if it's reached to that, you're not under pressure to reciprocate anything, because you understand that all of this could be false. And you're leaning towards falsehood until a commitment is made anyway. That's what it is. Is it sad that a man in your presence may not find you attractive? No. What's sad is when you don't know. The sad part is when you don't know you're being played. Because there are some women that start off not being the guy's type, and he's able to she's able to win him over. There are instances where that even happens. But you got to have it up here. You got to have it up here. I'm saying more times than not, you will be with men who do not consider you his dream girl. You will meet men who be like, well, you know, I don't like this, but she got that, so she all right. And he'll give you a shot. You don't know you're being interviewed and evaluated, and you don't know he's already adding up how much he's going to spend on you. You don't know all of that. But once you know, you relax. You can relax into your womanhood. You can take your time. You don't feel rushed. You don't feel under pressure. You don't feel like you got to perform and jump through hoops and have sex too early and all the things that we do to try to win men over. Ball is in your court when you know. That's the purpose of knowledge, so that you can pace things out for yourself. Okay? That's what all of this is about. It's not about, oh, that's so sad. What is sad about knowing? What is sad about knowing? When you look at your past relationships and evaluate all the men that you've been with and how many of them really didn't want you, had you known, you could have had less miles on your vagina. Had you known, you could have put in a whole lot less work on your hind parts. You could have put a whole lot less neck and chin. All that neck and chin you did for nothing. You could have done a whole lot less of that. Right? There's nothing sad about that. There's nothing sad about not having to suck dick for nothing. What's sad about that? Because we get into these traps where we feel like we got to prove ourselves. And a lot of times sex is this, I'm proving my worth. I'm proving my value. When you can't prove it that way anyway. Yes, Julius, neck and chin. Neck and chin. This way, that way, all that. Hello? Ralph says, but remember, brothers put miles on too. Get out of here. Y'all brothers put miles, but you don't care, and it doesn't affect you the same way. So this is not a competition between who's more valuable and who. This is biology, and sex for a woman affects her differently because she is ingesting your DNA. Her vaginal walls have microscopic tears when you thrust inside of her. You break her skin, and whatever you have goes into her bloodstream. Okay? It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different process. And this is why we have to choose carefully, because we are the ones that shape, we are the ones responsible for society, because we are the ones reproducing. We are the ones saying you're fit to reproduce with. And a lot of men are not fit to duplicate themselves. But we give these low rate men a chance, to continue on their genes when it really should stop with them. It really should. And really it should only be the best man wins. Emmy says, should we have sex once a month? Well, that is, I can't really say how often you should have sex. I know that for men, the more frequently they ejaculate, the weaker they are physically. And I remember Phil Valentine, Dr. Phil Valentine did a video on sex and reproduction, and he was saying that I think it was ideal for men to spill their sperm every 3 months or so, but it depends on your age. The younger the man is, the more frequently he can have sex, and as he gets up in age, it has to be spaced out a little more. But if a man is in, like, let's say his 40s or something, he shouldn't be having sex on a weekly basis. It should be, I believe he said every 90 days or so, maybe 60 or 90 days, which who's waiting that long? But when you talk about health, to build yourself up, I think he was referencing how long it takes for sperm to complete its cycle and mature, something along those lines. So if we're going according to what's healthiest for the male, it wouldn't be very as frequent as people are doing it. Food for thought, they lose a lot of zinc and nutrients. Yes, men do. Yes, they do. So it's really not healthy for any of us to be engaging in frequent sex. It puts a toll on a woman's body. It really does. And some of y'all have sex while you're pregnant, while you're nursing, while you're sick, while you got infections on your period. It's just all kinds of violations going on, all kinds of natural law violators. You guys are natural law violators. That's what you are. We got to get back to nature. But we're too preoccupied with sex. Why I think we are preoccupied with sex is because we're collectively depressed. I really feel that way. I think if you were a productive person and purposeful, I'm talking about everybody, all of us, society in general, and not stressed, then sex wouldn't be the focal point or the centerpiece of our existence. We think about sex is on our minds because of propaganda, because of media, of course, but it's used as an escape from reality. And I think if we didn't have to worry about bills, taxes, bills, rent, the things that we need to live so that we're not on the street, then we wouldn't be so preoccupied with trying to escape. Mr. Logic, you said I'm turning you off of sex again. No, I'm not. No, I'm not turning you off of sex. I'm just saying that it's an unnatural preoccupation going on, and that's in the realm of excessive and really unnatural. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Ralph said exactly right. Men over 25 has to let the testes build up its nutrients, but exercise and fresh foods help it. Men over 40 or older should be ejaculation of the mind more than the muscle. Yeah. They should. They should, but again, people want instant gratification now because so many other parts of life are just not fulfilling and worrisome. That is how we're living collectively now. And it's orchestrated that way by, you call them the Illuminati or the powers that be, to keep us scared, to keep us fearful, to keep us stressed. This is why people are sick in general. This is why people are sick in general. So, it's going to take introspection and discipline and eating right and all of that to turn all of that stuff around. And people don't want to be bothered. For the most part, people don't want to think. We want an escape. We don't really want to think about things too deeply. We are just looking for the next escape. And relationships are the biggest escape for a lot of us. Relationships are the biggest escape for many, many people. We burden other people with, our feelings about ourselves. We want them to distract us from what we feel about ourselves. This is why we pick people. This is why we call them our better halves. Because they're everything we're too lazy to be. They're everything that we feel we should be. We burden them with being what we should be striving to be ourselves. That's what it is. Eden says relationships are an addiction for many. Of course. Yep. It is. It is. So when we talk about healthy relationships, you got to ask yourself, who's in a healthy relationship? When everybody's running from themselves, like how many people are actually in healthy relationships? And is that even a possible thing? Is that even a possible thing? Not really. Because we have to lie because and people are neurotic and people in general are dishonest. So we have to now play along with that in order to have a relationship. You can't come with purity and piety and all that stuff and expect the reciprocity with that. It's impossible, because the person that you meet is looking to be saved. They're looking to be fixed and they're looking to be saved. So they don't want the truth from you. They want you to mend them. They want you to distract them. They want you to repair them. They want you to entertain them. This is what relationships are. This is what they are. Take it or leave it. Which I'll say, sad but true. It's so sad but true. Yeah, this is real. This is real. So I just wanted to jump. It's been over an hour I'm on here. Lord have mercy. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go, but I thank you guys for jumping on here with me and riding with me for this hour. I hope I've given you food for thoughts. I hope I've given you something to introspect about. I hope I've given you something that you can apply to your relationships and maybe yourself. You know, that's what I'm doing this for. TGIF. That's right. Happy Friday to everybody. This is a weekend. I know people screw on the weekends. So, you know, I wanted to jump on here before you ladies had sex with a deadbeat this weekend and a dude that don't really like you. I wanted to come on here and cock block a little bit. That's what I do best. I love to cock block. I love to turn people off to sex. I think that's my claim to fame. That is one of my talents. That is one of my talents, to turn everyone off from sex. But just to make you cautious, make you think twice. Does the guy you're gonna screw this weekend really like you? Ask yourself that. And if you have any doubt in your mind, don't screw him. Don't screw him this weekend. 9 Elite, you said, girl, you need to start finding reasons to like it. To like what? Go to the juice. Oh, the wheatgrass? Oh, y'all talking about healthy stuff now. Yay. Cool. Eden, you said, thank you for sharing your wisdom again. I appreciate you, Eden. I appreciate all of you for coming on here with me and sharing the wisdom to get you through the weekend. So don't do too much nonsense this weekend. Don't corrupt yourself with the drinking and the sex this weekend. Read a book or something. You know, go to the library and, you know, do something different. Please don't corrupt yourself with, you know, a dirty D. Julius, you said you are so wrong, Salkis, Ray. I'm wrong for what? What'd I do? What did I do? Food for thought, you said, I choose not to waste my time with low vibration sex, and that's why I keep it to myself. Sex is way overrated. All right. Keep that yoni juice in there, girl. Keep the river inside. You messing up the vibe? I'm not messing up no vibe, Julius. It's all good. You see me smiling. I'm smiling here. This is all good. This is empowerment session. Listen, all of you are smarter today than you were yesterday because we're sharing with each other. Because I'm sharing with you. So clap for that. Can I get a hand clap for that? Kendrick, you said, is it okay to have more than one lady? Kendrick, do you have money for more than one lady? Because that would be the thing, you know? And are these ladies, you know, if they're okay with it and you have the money to support more than one woman, then, you know, I would say it's all right. It's all right. As long as nobody's being deceived. And you're telling them up front that you want more than one, then it is what it is. She Ray says salary, benefits, and side hustle. I mean, that's what it is. Guys, y'all gonna dip out whether you have permission or not. This is what guys do. But take care of home. Uh-oh, Ralph says, seems like Kendrick is greedy and immature, still young. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Somebody called you out, Kendrick. They saying you greedy. You trying to chug it all. You trying to get all the yoni juice. You can't get all the yoni juice. You got to save some for other dudes. How you going to get 2 chicks? How you going to get 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, however many you want? Other men need women too. Other men need women too. You can't have it all to yourself. You can't have it all to yourself. When you get older, you become wiser and hip to the game and wise the hell up. Yeah. Age makes everybody smart. And the unfortunate thing is, by the time you know It don't even matter if you know, because nobody don't want your ass no more. So by the time you get wise, you can't get pussy or dick. By the time you get wise, this is the cruel joke of life. So it's better get smart now. Some of you on this live are in your 20s still. Just learn it now. Just learn vicariously now. Don't wait until your vagina dries up or your penis can't get hard to say, you know what, I'm wise. Because then what is the wisdom for then other than to tell other people? Because you can't use it for yourself. If I got wisdom I can't use for my damn self, then what's the point? I'd rather be stupid. I'd rather be stupid as hell. Learn it now. Learn it now. That's how you do. That's how you do. Now, not later. Ladybug said, ignorance is bliss. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. Sometimes ignorance can cost, though. So it's I guess it's perception. It's perception. Teach the babies. Yes, you know, it's about teaching you. I am not a hater. Listen, I'm fly as hell. I'm not 25, but I'm still in the game. Ain't nobody counting me out. I'm more excited than a lot of y'all. Trust and believe. Nothing has stopped this show. But, you know, I want to let you know the truth. I am not into giving false hope about anything. I think knowledge is power. Knowing how things are is powerful. It really is. It really is. So you guys, I gotta go. I got stuff I gotta do. I gotta gather my bags. I'm a bag gatherer. I gotta gather my bags. All right, so share the video if you like with your peeps, your Facebook groups, whatever groups you're on about relationships. I know a lot of y'all are in these relationship groups. Put the video in there. Put the video in there so I can grow this channel. I want like 20,000 subscribers, and I need y'all to help me do that. I want to be, you know, a big YouTuber. That's the goal here. I can't do it by myself. You can't keep me to yourself, you know. And I like y'all like to keep me to yourself, like I'm the secret weapon. And you can't do that. You got to spread me around. You have to share me. You have to share me. All right, so I'm out. Peace and love. I might do another live later. I got to see. But I'm out for now. Love y'all. Bye. Fool, you said you shared me on IG? Yay, thanks. Yeah, share me on Instagram. Please, y'all, share me on Instagram. That's how I'm going to get really big. Help the channel get monstrously big. Thank you, Reese. Thanks for supporting me. All right. Bye, love. Mwah. Peace.